Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is Godlike, episode 6. Oh, God. 6 episodes deep already.
Yeah, I can't believe that.
I'm Brandon. You might know this handsome gentleman from 5 previous episodes, Mr. Kyle O'Connor.
What's up, guys?
What's up, Kyle? And you might also recognize this handsome gentleman from, what was it, episode 4? What episode were you on?
I don't even
thought it was.
remember.
I think it's 4.
I think it's 4.
Yeah.
What's your name?
So my name is Blake. I work for Hi-Rez Studios as an eSport coordinator.
Hello.
I've been here before.
Hi, guys.
I was here once before. Please remember me.
Please make me feel special. This is great.
Well, so Blake was in the office today helping us out with some cool Smite content that we're going to have coming up.
Which was awesome of you. Thank you for coming
in the
by for
coming
that.
weeks. Yeah, man. Thanks very much for coming out, lending your Smite knowledge
Yeah, thanks for having me.
to us. So, little known fact, I think we mentioned this way back in episode 1. Had to adjust my mic there. Way back in episode 1. So when we pitched Godlike, right? We pitched it and it got approved. It got greenlit, as they say.
In the biz.
In the biz.
Fancy studio talk.
We pitched it and we got 6 episodes. We got a 6-episode pilot with the
Caveat.
yeah. Thanks.
a good word.
Well, yeah, it is a great word.
I know.
God, you should be a writer.
So, no.
With the caveat that after 6 episodes, we would take it, we would crunch it down, find out what worked, what didn't work, what we can do to make it better, what we can improve for not only the audience but for us as hosts and presenters, and for IGN as a content creator. So that means that episode 6 is the end of Godlike season 1.
Oh.
Yeah,
Womp
waiting for the
womp.
aw track.
We can get like sound effects in this.
Yeah, we
Well,
need.
the Price is Right one. Dun, 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 dun.
Dun. Oh. We never explained the monkey.
Oh, we didn't. Yeah. So Vince, our other guy that you might recognize if you watch the video, is not here with us. He is currently busy
Working on other stuff.
with Witcher-related duties.
Everything, yeah.
He's dying a little bit right now on the inside, but if you're watching the video, you can see this beautiful brown inflatable monkey to my right, sitting where Vince would be. Unfortunately, he's not quite as eloquent as Vince is.
He's not
but,
filling the void I'm feeling.
But damn, he's good looking.
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
And such a snazzy dresser.
The
The
IGN shirt. Yeah.
I don't have an IGN t-shirt.
Oh, you
I don't even have an IGN t-shirt.
I have a couple.
Do you? Okay. Well,
You guys can't have any.
way to
Come
be
on.
that guy.
90% of my t-shirts have something to do with Smite.
Yeah.
Yeah, working here, you end up with so many free T-shirts. I go through. I'm like,
It's-
I don't want to wear Little
Yeah.
Big Planet. I don't want to wear Shadow
It's
of
always,
Mordor.
it's always funny because like you're gonna do camera work a day, right? And like
Yeah.
some days you come in and you don't know you're gonna be doing camera work, and
Yeah.
you're just like, oh hey, we need you to film this conversation or something.
Like today
And
in
you're
a
like-
plain white tee.
Yeah. And you're like, oh, great, I'm awesome. I'm wearing an Assassin's Creed T-shirt.
Awesome.
Oh,
Great.
okay.
Sponsored video.
Gotta change. Hashtag collusion.
So,
So,
end of season 1
so
of a
easily off
Godlike.
track. Yeah. So this
Yeah.
is the end of season 1. Is it sad? Yeah, a little bit.
A little sad.
Not super sad because
Smite consumed both of our lives for such a long period of time.
yeah, but it's not even like this is the end of it, right? Like we're gonna be taking it back to we're gonna bring it back to the boys in the lab, have them dissect it, and find out what we want to do for season 2 coming around. And it's not like Smite's going anywhere, right?
No, it's just going to get bigger.
Yeah, a lot of big stuff coming up. And this isn't even actually the end of the Smite content on IGN for the time being. In the next couple of weeks, we'll have a lot of really cool, exciting stuff that we cannot tell you about right now.
But they might involve this guy right here. If you can't see what I'm doing, I'm pointing to Blake.
He's waving his hand in front
Yeah.
of Blake's face.
I don't know what's going on.
Oh, I'm in trouble.
A lot of cool stuff coming up in the next couple of weeks. We're going to have a stream next week if you're listening to this the day it comes out. So stay tuned for that. We're going to be streaming some Xbox. Keep an eye. Keep an eye on IGN when it comes
Keep
to
it
the
locked.
Smite. Oh, keeping it locked. So we don't really have any major. I feel like for the last one, we all just kind of want to hang around
And hang out and talk with you guys
shoot
and
and just
shoot the proverbial breeze.
Yeah.
Oh, you thought I was
Nice.
gonna say something
thought
bad.
we were going to have to get the bleep going.
Bleep. I know we're all just like so chilled out and just relaxed this time around.
Yeah.
I feel like Brandon that one episode where I was like, Brandon, pick up the energy. He's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I
When
really
I get
love-
2 hours of sleep.
yeah, you were. Why were you so tired? Was it Bloodborne?
Might have been Bloodborne.
Was it Bloodborne?
Could've
yeah,
been
that was
Bloodborne.
such a rough week.
It was a
Year.
very rough week. I feel like Vince is there right now.
Can we talk about what Vince is doing?
We can talk about what he's doing, not how
Anything about it?
anything about it.
Yeah.
He's literally become the Witcher.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I saw him walking around. He had like long white silver hair.
It was really weird.
He's carrying a sword, which is, scary.
As it is.
I don't know if you've seen Vince with a weapon, but so what do you were talking to me, Kyle, about some interesting things that you wanted to mention about the end of this season 1 episode.
Oh, like what my favorite things were from it, or just everything about the whole season's been really cool. If anyone's been watching from the beginning, I'd like just recently started getting into Smite on PC, and I was really enjoying it, and then came to Xbox, and I just got onto that and was really enjoying it. It was really cool to get to meet all these people like Blake and then Andy and those guys. It was just
Andy
such
and
Todd. Yeah, that was super cool.
We had Bart on.
Yeah, it was just wow. For 6 episodes, we did pretty well for ourselves with who we got on as guests.
I feel like we had a guest every episode except for one, maybe.
The first one.
First one
was Alfredo.
Yeah.
And the second one was Todd and Andy.
Yep.
Yeah, that was it was a good time. I'm excited for the future of Smite. I'm excited to see how it's gonna really blow up once it's open.
Yeah, man. Like you could speak to this a little bit, Blake, but like the event, the LAN event just came on. This is what we were talking to Bart about last episode. The LAN event that just happened, it was way bigger. It wasn't, like the World Championship, but it wasn't supposed to be, right? I feel like it was the biggest milestone in the season to date, though.
Yeah, definitely for the season.
Yeah.
A lot of I think that's kind of what we end up doing is a lot of fun events.
Yeah. Dude, it was
mixed
fun.
in with our stuff.
I watched both days of the charity drive, like people eating peppers and throwing pies at each other's faces.
Oh man!
Some of those pro dudes were like really getting into the pie chucking.
Yeah, I think some feelings were hurt.
Yeah, really? Like one of the European guys threw a pie so hard that the other guy like had to take a step back. He like staggered.
Yeah, when you get hit by a pie so hard, you reevaluate your life.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm in the wrong career.
I saw through the pie.
Yeah.
Mom said stay away from clown college.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of what I like. It's definitely a different take than taking yourself serious all the time.
Yeah.
Being able to bring these pros out and make sure that they have fun and that viewers have fun as well, rather than just being like content, hardcore, blah, tournament.
Right. Yeah.
So it definitely, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. I really enjoyed it. And then, the spring event actually started. And those games, man, just like, seeing what I play and like the level that I play, and even like people watching games, people who play ranked, and then watching the pros games, it is just such a huge just gulf between the two, right? Like the level of play is amazing.
Yeah. Just anytime you're watching anyone who's a pro at anything.
Sure, yeah.
I feel like with sports you can grasp it and you're like, well, yeah, but it's not super visible at the skill gap, because it's like at a certain point it just becomes indistinguishable.
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
in video games, you're just like, holy crap. Like, you just did all that in 1.5 seconds, and you changed the pace of the game.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Incredible. Yeah.
Like I'm watching pro team fights, and like the team fight starts 2v3, and then everyone shows up.
Yeah.
And this team fight goes for like 1.5 minutes. Yeah. And they're like going. They start at one end of the back camps, go all the way to like Gold Fury, then to the other end of the back camps, and these two teams are just chasing each other, and slowly people getting killed off. And then because it's so stretched out, people are respawning and getting back in. It's just like, this is the kind of stuff that I never see in game. It blows me away, the level that these guys play at.
But I feel like when you, I think we touched on this about toxicity in esports, like this sort of stuff, like being able to watch this high level of gameplay creates episode 4, 4.5 minutes in.
This will be like episode 6 of Godlike. The end of the first season will just be basically that episode of like any family like sitcom where they're like everyone's on vacation, so they just like rehash a bunch of
plot stories.
Yeah, just a bunch
So
of,
it's gonna like slowly fade out into black and white.
Just, hey, you remember that time that you got stuck in a roller coaster overnight?
Well, here's that same scene played over again.
We'll see you back in a minute.
Yeah. What I was saying is, like, I feel like when you can watch this sort of level of pro play, it ends up creating this idea in the average players like, oh, I can do that. My whole team should be playing like that. And that no, not at all.
Yeah.
Like,
I think like the first thing we ever said was like, you will never get paid for playing Smite.
Yes.
And that's true for probably 99.9% of
and
the people.
I would very much I would be so happy if I got an email, be like, well, screw you guys. You said I'd never get paid to play Smite, but I proved you wrong. I'd be like,
Awesome.
yes, awesome.
Awesome.
Good, thank you. I will eat that humble pie.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like
Take it right to the face.
yeah, exactly, like we just mentioned, but I won't get offended. I don't know. It's that in itself is really good to see. It's be able to watch that high level of play, but when you start expecting it from average players who are just doing it for fun, it starts making a toxic mindset.
And I mean, you play at a higher level than both of us combined, I feel. Like, you know,
I'm bad.
you're bad. Yeah. Well, you're out on the West Coast with us, right?
Yeah.
And we actually live really, actually pretty close to each other, scarily enough. You and I don't know about you, but like my base ping is always like 110, 120, right? West Coast.
Yeah.
Kind of limits your options a little bit, I'd say.
Yeah, so when I moved from the East Coast, my ping out there was like 30, 40. And I used to just play the hunter role, and then I moved out here and I had to main mages.
Yep.
And I mean, that's an excuse at best, because if I really wanted to continue being great at hunters, like there are people that play with like 200 ping that are pros. And
Really?
Yeah, that
Oh, wow.
are great hunters. And but for somebody casual like myself, it was just like, well, I'll just main this now. And it turned out I actually ended up liking mages better.
Cool.
There's nothing better than deleting somebody with an
Yeah,
ability rotation.
I like mages and support.
Deleting somebody.
Guardians.
Just taking
Guardians.
that player
Which is
icon,
also-
putting it in the recycle bin.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Go ahead, pull
See
that
you
over.
again in a minute and a half.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like this kind of ties into last week we asked our question.
Favorite roles.
About what was it favorite? I think it was what was your least favorite
Oh,
or
the
most
hardest
difficult role for you to
Yeah.
play. And we had an awesome answer come in from somebody, and we sent them their code. But this is such an interesting question, I think. So kind of wanted to throw it to the table. Like, what do you feel like? What's your least favorite role, Kyle?
And
Or
Smite.
most difficult to play? Yeah.
I think, okay, so maybe I'm biased because it's my favorite, but I think the most difficult role to play is support or guardian, whatever
Yeah.
you say, because you can have such a huge impact on a fight with every guardian, and it's also the one that you'll get the least kudos for. It doesn't really show up on the scoreboard, and there are usually some pretty complex mechanics that go along with guardians, unless I'm completely full of it. But like I was just thinking like Sylvanas' grabs and stuns and everything. Like those are the super duper high reward, but not really. Like it's high reward for the team fight, but it's never on the scoreboard. No one says like, "Oh, look at all the assists this guy got." That hardly ever happens in most games. Like only time that ever happens is if you're playing with a bunch of people who are really good and they actually know the mechanics of the game.
Exactly.
But on your average game, no one's gonna be like, "Oh, your assists are so good."
It's not that sex appeal that
No.
The hunter or the
The
jungler
mage.
or the mage has.
It's not a glamour role.
Yeah, I feel like that kind of the unsung hero that kind of fits your MO.
Well, I mean, yeah, go on.
Yeah,
Go on. I want to hear it more.
You're so overworked and under-noticed.
Underappreciated. I'm gonna start crying here, guys.
I feel like we're gonna hug it out.
Let's stop.
In
Let's
a big-
stop.
in a big way right after this is over.
No, I love playing those types of roles. I mentioned it before, but in World of Warcraft, that's all I played. I played healers and tanks in PvP, and in League of Legends, I really prefer support.
Yep.
I like jungles, and when I play jungles, I play tanky jungle. So it's just totally up my alley. Is the Guardian role, and I still think it's the hardest.
Yeah, I might agree with you. What about you, Blake? I know. I mean, ping aside, right? Like,
Yeah.
you and I can't really play hunters that well. Finally got Cupid to mastery 10. That took forever. I actually did it on the double worshiper weekend. I got Cupid,
That's the best weekend.
Cupid, Sobek, both of them in mastery 10, and I almost got Anubis up there. But by and large, hunters, man, too hard for me with the ping. Some people can make it work. I can't. But like, what would you say your most difficult role is?
I would say my most difficult role when I'm not playing with other people is hunter, just because there's other people that are way better at it, especially in Smite where it's left click auto attack, so I can't do that on that ping quite as well as I would want to.
You have to aim everything.
Yeah. But one of the roles that I struggle with is both jungle and guardian.
Yeah.
And it's because I am hyper aggressive in game. I want to be, if I'm a guardian, I want to be trading constantly, putting tons of pressure down and just getting in the other person's head and making them feel uncomfortable. And if I don't have somebody who understands that, like my duo lane partner, if they don't understand that, I'm just gonna die.
Yeah, you're gonna
every time.
if they're not there for that constant threat behind you
Yeah,
to
that's
remind the people that you should be taken seriously. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, if you understand like with supporting our guardian lane presence is such a huge
Yeah.
thing. Like just reminding your opponents, like, hey, I'm here. Like you're not going to get an inch easily.
Yeah.
And if you don't have your ADC or your hunter behind you, there's nothing to back up that threat, really.
That's a perfect way to describe it. Like, I mean, at early game, tanks aren't guardians or tankier gods. They're not really. They can't take the brunt of the damage that you would associate with a guardian, like come the team fight phase, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of how they mitigate damage is by having the hunter behind you with like their bow and arrow,
Just
or
ready to roll.
whatever, like ready to just rock the face of anybody that gets locked down. Your guardian is your CC, and the real way to mitigate damage is the hunter behind them, ready to dish out DPS and making sure that you get pushed out. Yeah, that tandem, man, duo and hunter.
That's always my favorite. That's why I love playing support on other games. Is just the synergy when you have someone who's just like, you ever just get a random and you guys are on the same page the whole time. Like you get a random player in your game and you guys just have the synergy. You ever have that happen? That happens to me all the time. And then
That's a great feeling.
yeah, it's just like, whoa, we really work well together. And you play again.
It's always like, I made a new friend. And
Yeah.
then
See-
you never talk to
Yes,
them.
exactly.
Yeah.
This. It's always like, God, that was really good. You rock. Oh yeah, I
Wow,
was just
we
gonna
should
say the same
duo,
thing.
but
We
not
should
really.
duo, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna add you and never talk to
I
you
sent a
again.
friend request. He's like, oh, LOL. I was just about to send you a friend request. Cool, man. Well, I'll
Tee-hee.
see you tomorrow. All right.
Tee-hee. Nope.
Never talk to him again.
You guys ever like just get done playing a game and you spend a whole bunch of time at max level and you're all beefy, and then you jump into another game and you just like still have that mindset
Yeah,
that you're a tank
yeah.
and you just like run in and just get smoked?
Yep.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
happens a lot to me.
When I carry as the jungle, right? Like, just eating everybody. And then
Yeah.
you get into another game and you start jungling and you get over the solo lane. You're like, here we go. And you jump in. You're like, oh, yeah, I don't do any damage right
Yeah,
now.
oh,
I'm
you're
dead. Okay.
wrecked. Yep.
F6. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, doing that run back's kind of hard
Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah.
Yep.
Oh god, the corpse run. Oh man.
Yeah. The corpse run from WoW.
Yeah.
Man, I liked your analogy, though, when we first started the show, how you were saying that Smite is basically
Well,
a more complex version of the arena from WoW.
I wouldn't say it's more complex. I think what I said was it's all the best parts of WoW Arena and PvP with all the best rules of MOBAs.
Oh, okay.
I think WoW is more complex and just simply in the fact that you have way more abilities.
Yeah.
Like 20, 30 abilities on the low side. And yeah, it's the perfect analogy. Anyone who's done WoW Arena seriously or WoW Battlegrounds seriously and then hops on the Smite, it's like second nature. You're just like, oh, cool, except everything is targeted. I can't just target this guy, click on him, and cast all my abilities, and it just tracks where he is. You have to actually aim anything, everything, which I think Hi-Rez just killed it with that, like making that the mechanics of their game, because you cater to this huge audience that's leaving World of Warcraft because that game's slowly starting to die. I don't think it'll ever truly die, but you cater to that huge audience who really likes the PvP in that game and who really likes MOBA rules, but can't find a game that merges the two. And then Smite comes along and just nails it dead on, 100%. That's why I've like, anytime we've talked about the next game mode, I'm like, capture the flag. It needs to be, or like a Domination style game or Assault.
King of the Hill.
So they had a Domination style game for a while.
Really?
And it was super broken.
Well, like in what kind of broken?
It wasn't as refined as the other modes.
Yeah,
okay.
it was.
It was the lowest population, lowest queued mode.
It felt like it was really easy to snowball, right? Like there was, if you got ahead, it was really hard to get back. And there were definitely compositions that just synergized way too well because the way it worked was there was a guardian where there were basically 3 towers horizontally, but instead of towers there were guardians. So like, could you like lifesteal off them and crit them and stuff like that? If I remember correctly.
I don't remember. I think they had the same functionality as towers.
Okay. So basically what it was is like when you were in there, the guardian would attack, right? But if you dropped the guardian, it became neutral, and then the first team to get pushed out, it becomes the opposite
territory
team's node. Yeah. So basically, it's you get in there, you drop the tower, and then you have a team fight, and the last person from a team standing in there usually wins. So, I mean, God, I was seeing like Hades in there, and like Odin's in there, and it was just these really beefy teams would be sort of impossible to drive off the node, right? The great thing was like Zeus could chain lightning off the Guardians and stuff like that. Just really do a lot of damage from a poke. But it felt like once you started to snowball on that, like 2 towers, just hold on to them.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's almost true with every game that has domination in it.
Sure. Yeah.
Once you, especially if it's in WoW, there was a Wrathy Basin, which was the first one, and there was 5 nodes, if I remember correctly, and there was just like this perfect layout of the nodes you could get, and that was the strongest way you could hold and win.
Basin was the top in the middle, right?
Yeah. There was one in the middle. There was one that was like lower down on this side, and there was one higher.
There's the mill, the island, and then the mine. I would say.
Those
and
are them.
I think the mill and the island were best because you could jump from the mill to the island.
Yeah, you could float if you had a priest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I mean that always ends up happening, like a strong team comp, like especially if it's a node. Oh man, going into specifics, I'll end up on a tirade.
Even so much that I feel like WoW and like let's even say like Call of Duty, right? Like Domination's popular in Call of Duty. Those games are face value. So like you go into the game, everybody has the same thing, right? Or you do all of your preparation before the game starts. But in a game like Smite, you become stronger the better you do in there.
Yeah,
right?
but in WoW, you can have better gear. You can
no, that's what I mean.
with
Like
better
you
gear.
prep beforehand, so it's not so
okay.
much like a snowball. It's like, well, your team's just gonna just train wreck anything anyway, right?
Yeah.
And I guess you could make the argument in Call of Duty like kill streaks will help.
Yeah, but also then the counter argument is that the death timers are way shorter.
Sure. But I feel like in Smite with Domination, like you're constantly getting more powerful the better you do, and so for games where you get the advantage early, you just snowball really fast.
Well,
and it's the same in Conquest, but
I feel like just BSing, since that's what we said this episode would be about.
Yeah.
To counteract it, the team that's losing based on the point disparity should get like an not an exponential but a multiplicative health increase.
Good word.
I know, man, I'm on the heater today.
On the bar.
The bigger your deficit that you're losing by, the more health you should get over time. So it's like, oh, you're only losing by 10 points. You've got a 0.5% health increase.
Yeah.
And then it's 20 points, so now it's 1%. And then all the way up until you get to a max. That way you can try and tank and make up the difference.
Totally disagree.
You disagree?
I think health. I think respawn timers are the way to go. But
yeah,
I could see an argument for both. I know, Blake, you're super quiet. What do you think?
No, I was just trying to think about that, and I think if you did some kind of stat bonus or something, essentially,
I think it's too strong.
That's kind of forcing every game to be
a turtle.
What?
Turtle to a certain degree, but like
neck and neck.
Neck and neck.
Yeah.
And like snowballs are gonna happen.
Yeah, and you're right. It takes away the reward of a well-executed game when you're like, oh, no matter how well I do it, it's just gonna be neck and neck.
It's like, oh, we're playing better. We're clearly the better team, but
a pro team
they're
is going
getting
to
a
do
handicap
worse against a pub team at the end.
Yeah.
Than they would if it wasn't.
It's like, oh, I can't take them down, but you haven't augmented the damage or anything.
Yeah,
so.
exactly.
Well, that's true.
You didn't really earn it, I suppose.
I still think Smite needs a capture the flag mode.
I absolutely agree 100%. And I think anytime you take to the air or do a dash or
should drop the flag.
You should drop the flag.
I don't think a dash should drop the flag. I think taking to the air should drop the flag.
Dude, what happens if like you grab the flag and then you jump on a Wheelix's tiger or leopard and then just?
Well, I know in games like World of Warcraft, which is going to be the first one I equate it to, you can't get on mounts, but if you've got a sprint, if you've got a charge, if you've got a leap, if you've got a dash, you can do that all with the flag.
Sure. Shamans could go wolf form with it.
Yeah, I think now, not recent, but in one of the more recent patches, they limit your movement speed increase, so you can't just be like, oh, gone.
Yeah.
So druids couldn't like cat form.
Oh man, cat form. Oh god, I remember that. Just
how many feral? So.
What? You mean feral? Yeah.
One of those guys.
Actually, no. I hated resto druids more than anything. Like the idea of a resto.
Impossible to kill.
Yes.
It's basically Sylvanas.
Well, yeah, because I'd always do 2v2. I'd always do 2v2 arenas, and it would always be a warrior and a resto druid, and you could never kill either of them.
Yeah.
And then it's still one of those things when you think back to it. When I think back to it now, it like makes me rage. Like resto druids.
Is there still a competitive WoW arena scene?
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure there is. It was really good. It was always really interesting.
Do something
to
at BlizzCon every year, right?
Yeah, I'm sure there is. I don't follow it anymore, but I reactivated my WoW account.
I don't know if there's like an ESL circuit or anything, but I'd be surprised if there was.
I mean, that's how Reckless got big. You guys know Reckless, the Hearthstone player? No? Well, he does a bunch of streaming. He's a streamer, but he originally started with his PvP videos from Arena, and they were amazing, and he was so good, and he had such a high skill cap, and he got huge with that, and now he just does streaming and Hearthstone and all that stuff. It's pretty cool.
He's making money off video games.
Yeah,
Something that
it's
nobody
great.
will ever do.
Never. No one in this room is doing that.
No. Making money talking about video games, on the other hand. But yeah, I agree. I think there should be another. I mean, there should be a million modes, but I would love to see another mode in there. Capture.
I'd love to see 1v1 casual joust come back.
Yeah.
Because right now it's only
It's only League.
It's only
ranked.
ranked. So, but back in the day, you could 1v1 casual, and that's a lot of where I would go to, mess with individual builds or try out new gods or just kind of do whatever, practice lane matchups.
But wouldn't you just end up always fighting someone who's playing a tank? That's I feel how that would end up.
I mean, there's a pick. Well, in rank, I've been watching. I think he just changed his streamer name, but and Shadow, I think it is.
Yeah, Shadow.
He does almost exclusively joust. But he was saying one of the streams that I just happened to tune into for a minute that he was saying that you learn a lot of the matchups about what gods are capable of and aren't capable of, and there are picks and bans phases in there as well. So generally, the gods that are like more well-rounded are the ones that are better suited to joust, right? And that's not always a guardian.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you'll get cheesed. Sometimes you'll actually have a good matchup.
Get a Chronos.
Kali.
Kali's messed up.
Your target's always the only other person in the game.
You always have a flat pen buff, like always, right?
So, I mean, there's definitely some auto bans, but in that mode, like back in the day, I don't know, my friends and I would, and we still do this, like we would go in there and be like, hey man, I want to practice this matchup, and then it's not the best place to replicate it, but it does let you practice a lot of mechanics.
Right.
So that, I don't know. That's where that was kind of always our go-to place to practice.
Yeah. But I never really got into the 1v1. It was always just too much pressure.
I love 1v1ing just in every game ever. Yeah.
I just always feel like Rudy, right? Like the entire game is on your shoulder and you're like this tiny little underdog. That's always how it felt for me. Like it was just I'm in there, and if I lose, it's totally my fault. And
yeah, but if you win, it's also totally your.
Yeah, it's true. I guess I have more of a pessimistic outlook or cynical outlook than you.
Brandon,
right?
Brandon Tyrell.
I know.
What?
I'm one big ray of sunshine.
Debbie Downer, never.
I think that's going too far. Like there was a match of the day recently where it was Hyper Joust. It's two gods against each other, like 100,000 gold, and you start at level 5 or something like that. And it's kind of interesting to see who hits CC first, and then just deletes the other god off the joust map. But yeah, man, I'd love to see capture the flag. I'd love to see a domination. I'd love to see 1v1 casual come back for that sector.
What would you guys think of like some sort of PvE? I mean, that's
arena.
Like you guys versus a computer. Like, I'm trying to think of how I'd word it. You guys played WoW?
Yeah.
You guys played WoW?
Like a raid boss?
Yeah, like Ultric Valley. You guys remember Ultric Valley?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, like that, but where they had like, you had to get a series of objectives down, and then the final boss would be easier. Basically, he was impossible unless you at least got like 4 out of the 5 objectives down. What if you did something like that in Smite?
Grand Marshal something.
Yeah, you were obviously Horde.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sure was.
I don't know. I think that would be cool too.
I'm trying to work out in my mind
how you would do it.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, because
I think of
MOBAs in general are so based on player versus player, right?
Well, like back in the day when you had Dota, there was a lot of like scenario based.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Where,
Scenario is
like,
a better word.
Levels, and you had all the mods where it'd be like, all right, I'm Goku, and
Yeah.
Like Super Saiyan Dota, and I mean, I could kind of see scenarios like that where you're going through kind of this player ran built story.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting.
I just feel like there's potential there. Obviously, it's for a company that runs their ship so smartly, or lean, I guess would be the better word.
Yeah, lean.
Like you can't justify spending the resources on something like that when it's not really a PvE game. Yeah. But I feel like in the future, if there was ever like a modding tool or something like that, that would be a cool project to do where it's like, oh yeah, you and 9 other players, you're all on the same team, but you got to fight your way through a series of guardians and get more buffs, and then fight a final big, huge guardian at the end. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Wow, what if you did a 10-person free-for-all?
Oh, like just a death match?
Oh, yeah, just
oh my god, I love death match games.
I would play the hell out of
Oh
that.
my god, who would excel at that? You think Loki?
Collie.
No? Collie?
Jump on him, kill him, full health. Jump on the next guy, kill him, full health.
Oh,
How would you
man.
go? How would you go back to the store?
You'd have to die,
You
probably.
just have like 10 pods around the arena, right? Like all around.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, that I would prefer that over a PvE, like just a free-for-all. Man. I've always said in other MOBAs, like,
See, but if everybody picks Kali,
nobody picks
Nobody
Queen.
picks Collie.
It's true.
yeah, I don't know who would be good in that.
I just say
man.
Loki just because of the whole, like, just picking people off.
Yeah, but then you know,
Then you're a glass cannon.
blow your kit, and then you're just kind of like hanging out, waiting for your invisibility to come back up.
Yep. Yeah.
Or if you pick somebody that you kind of feel is going to be overpowered like that, like, all right, we'll just focus him first.
Yeah.
Yeah, that also always happens.
Nine
yeah.
people, triumphantly go together.
You know, it just boiled down to like 6 dudes in vent, just like
Ah, I hate you.
just train wrecking dudes, like
Yeah.
like pushing them into a corner.
Like
Yeah.
you get points based on like it goes through rounds, and every round is a different amount of gold and level, and so you get points based on where you died in the round.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
I don't. Maybe that's one
Wait, are
way
we?
to do it. Might
So
not
are
the
we
best
designing
way.
game modes?
Yeah,
for
yeah.
Hi-Rez Studios
Hi-Rez
right
is
now?
just like, just writing everything down
I'm gonna shoot a
furiously.
couple of emails
Yeah.
after this
Yeah.
episode.
Seriously. send
Hey
what-
guys, Blake, had the greatest idea.
Yeah, exactly.
It was me.
I need you not to log on to IGN for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Also, I need to take a vacation.
Yeah. No, I think that would be cool. Free for all would be awesome. Or like some sort of Juggernaut. You guys ever played Juggernaut on Halo?
Juggernaut would
Where
be
you
cool.
just got
Oh,
got
man.
stronger when you were in the lead. That was Juggernaut, right? Or,
Yeah, it was Juggernaut.
Yeah. That would be cool. Just like if you're number 1, you're huge. You're physically huger.
Huger.
Oh,
More huge.
God.
The hugest.
You had such a good word.
I was
you had
on a
so many
run, and
words.
then the more likely
You should
stupider.
still totally be a writer.
Yeah, no, nope. Yeah, that would be cool, and you just get bigger and bigger and bigger, and then
Yeah.
harder to take down. But then obviously everyone wants to take you out.
Dude, you know what I would love to see? I would love to see some of those like mythological end of day scenarios that all these gods are based off of, like
Oh,
Ragnarok. And
yeah,
all that.
Ragnarok would be
like, I would
awesome.
love to see if you do go the PVE route, like have
Oh,
five-
that's totally the route.
5 Norse gods in Ragnarok against the world-eating serpent or whatever
Yeah.
it is. That would be rad. I would totally. I don't know what the Egyptian apocalyptic event is. I think there's one for Roman and Greek mythologies, but
I always thought the
could be
Greeks
wrong.
were when the Titans escaped.
yeah, actually, that's it. Yeah.
If Disney movies have
Yeah.
taught me anything,
If
it's
watching
when
Hercules when I was 12 taught me anything, it's that you can go from 0 to hero.
Oh God.
I'm out.
Blake's like, well, I'm done.
Well,
I'm done for
It's
today.
nice talking to you guys.
Yeah, seriously. Almost talking. Anything else you guys want to bring up?
I've just really enjoyed doing Godlike.
Yeah, man.
It's been a good time.
I'm gonna miss doing the show in the space until the next season.
Yeah. Yeah. What are we hoping for in between now and our next show? What's the big change you want to see? I want to see the Xbox thing to like kick off and running.
That would be rad. I know. I mean, free-to-play games have always sort of had this tumultuous past in.
Good word.
Thank you. In the console space, right? Like you had Happy Wars on 360, and now you have Killer Instinct, which is kind of free, and you have Neverwinter, right, on Xbox One. I think is the most recent one. So some people love them, love to adopt them. Some people don't. I think the quality really determines. You had a game from Signal Studios, the guys that make toy soldiers, called Ascend Hand of Cool, I think it was, on 360, and it was an action RPG. I know the name, like. It was
Awesome Hand of Radical.
It was an action RPG, and the quality was actually pretty high up there. There were some server issues and all that, but
Yeah.
it had a pretty good user base, and then it got shuttered. So I think really it's just driven by quality. And if you want to get into it, I know I do a show about Smite, and I play Smite, and I love Smite. I really do think Smite on Xbox One is probably one of the higher quality free-to-play titles I've ever seen on a console.
Oh, I would go so far as to say I don't think that. I know that. Like
Yeah.
I can't think of another game that would compare. I can't.
Huh.
Name a free-to-play game on consoles that even is in the same wheelhouse. There we go. There's your answer.
Well,
Warframe?
thanks for tuning in.
Warframe? That's probably close.
Warframe's good. I
I mean,
actually,
look, Warframe's still like a really beautiful game.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
think it
gorgeous.
has the same amount of numbers Smite does, but thinking of something close that I
Yeah.
think
Sure.
had a successful port to
Warframe
the
would be.
Xbox and PlayStation.
Just 514.
Yeah, Warframe is a close.
Eve.
Did Eve go free to play at some point?
I don't know.
I feel like that is a terrible idea. Like, unleashing the learning curve that is Eve online, like, into a free-to-play market. People are just like, I'm clicking on boxes and nothing's happening.
Oh my God, the rage that would induce.
Yeah,
Well, that's,
seriously.
yeah, the
I
learning
always
curve.
love seeing Eve news,
Yeah,
but
me
not
too.
understanding it.
Yeah, I know.
Because
Oh, I
I feel
remember-
like that's the most unfriendly game. For
400
new
million
people.
glorp was stolen this morning.
Yeah, you're like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
No, I remember reading one news. It was like, a big online multiplayer battle caused $250,000 of real damage
Yeah, I know.
to player inventory. I was like, what?
Yeah, I love those.
What? Why are you playing? Get out! Just stop! Just-
Seriously.
If you could lose $250,000 just on your hobby,
Someone just lost their house.
Yeah.
Like,
that's terrible.
yeah, I kind of feel like if you did unleash Eve into the free-to-play market, like, all of the hardcore veteran players would just enslave all of the new
Oh, yeah.
players.
Oh yeah.
Like, you log in and you just, like, work for someone now. Just indentured servitude. You're a serf now.
Yeah, that's what would happen.
They make you log in.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, give me your phone number.
Yeah, you want to keep your character? Okay, well, I'll see you at 4.
All right.
Oh my God.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. I think Smite's going to do really well. I mean, you know, speaking from the side of IGN, like, coverage has been good. People seem really genuinely interested in the title. And I know Hi-Rez is getting bigger. You guys have ballooned, what, like, from 30 to 150 this year?
Oh, yeah, it's a lot of people.
Wow.
Something like 120 maybe? I don't want
That's
to oversell
crazy.
it. New production studio. You could afford all those pies that you threw.
Oh, that's madness.
That's a lot of pie.
Yeah, with the Oculus Rift coming out in 2016, the next logical steps, you know, virtual reality, MOBA.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Smite with a rift on?
Yeah.
Holy moly.
I would throw up in a heartbeat.
I would love it.
You imagine hitting like Thor's ultimate, like whoa, vertigo, like instantly.
Yeah. Oh my God, that'd be really cool.
Kronos' rewind.
I've never played Kronos.
Never?
Never.
Wow.
Not even once.
He can rewind.
You literally go back in time.
We've got to go back.
We've got to go back.
All right. Well, before this devolves,
I know,
into
we're
Back
just
to the
like,
Future references. Yeah, I think we just, you know, speaking for everybody who has been on this show, thank you so much for tuning in. You know, we've had a blast doing it, and hopefully we'll be bringing it back sooner than later. But you want to do the plugs for the last time this season, Kyle?
Twitter handles.
Twitter handles.
You can find me online at Kyle. That'll be a lot of bro jokes, and that's about it.
Bro, working out jokes.
Working out jokes and talking about Broden.
And meat and potatoes.
Meat, potatoes, working out jokes, Broden, messing with Brendan Tyrell.
That's
That's pretty much my Twitter feed.
that is basically the food pyramid of your life.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
No
there you go.
IGN retweets?
Sometimes.
Yeah, you do IGN.
Yeah, I retweet
Pictures
IGN,
of your
but
new car right now.
yeah.
right?
Well, no, not on Twitter. I haven't
Not
done it
on
on Twitter
Twitter.
at all.
Okay.
Just Instagram.
Maybe.
I don't want to put that out there.
Yeah, maybe we should not talk about the 1972 Impala that you bought.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
barely runs.
It barely runs. It's terrible.
Yeah.
You can't do anything to it.
Yeah, it's on milk cartons
Yeah.
right now.
Okay.
Cinder blocks and milk cartons. Blake, where are you from? What do you do? What's your name?
Oh, God. So you can find me on Twitter at mblakew. I tweet a lot of eSports stuff because that's what I do for Hi-Rez Studios.
Yeah.
And, yeah, a lot of GIFs as
A
well.
lot of gifts. We are big fans of gifts around here.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like me the gifts.
Yeah,
I
a
have
lot
a
of
whole
our.
folder on my computer dedicated to them.
Me
Yeah,
too.
I have a folder called Yo Gabby Gifts, and I just like keep filling that bad boy up.
I
and-
have a bookmark folder, reaction gifs. That's the best.
Nice. And I am Brandon Tyrell. That is my name and my Twitter handle.
And the house he's from.
And oof, yeah. No, I actually changed it. I changed my Twitter thing. Now it says no relation. Just 'cause everyone's all like, "How's Marjorie?" I was like, "That's real original." Buddy.
The day I called you the Knight of Flowers, I was pretty sure you were gonna hit me.
Yeah, I was close.
He
I was
was
close,
close.
but it's not very knightly. But yeah, I don't know, man. I tweet sometimes. I mostly retweet stuff, or sometimes I'll get struck by inspiration and just have to vent.
Where he responds to me
Yeah.
messing
I have
with
to
him.
vent at Kyle.
For a couple days, I just kept sending you quotes from the Book of Broden.
The Book of
It was
Broden.
so good, but I knew he was gonna die.
Well, that's it, man. I know he's not here right now, but Vince Ingenito, I don't remember his Twitter handle.
At Vincognito.
At Vincognito.
Yep.
Man, I feel like there's more to say to close
We
it
love
out.
you.
Yeah. We'll still be monitoring the email, so you can hit us at was it godlike at ign.com.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we're going to be ramping up esports coverage in other areas as well. If you happen to be a tangential fan of Dota, League of Legends, Counter-Strike, Hearthstone,
Mortal Kombat. Yeah, you'll see me on the Mortal Kombat videos most likely.
Lots of esports stuff coming out, and it's all going to be under the IGN Arena umbrella. So that's sort of going to be our esports brand name, I guess. And then we're going to branch out from there. Should be a pretty exciting year for esports at IGN.
Stoked.
But yeah, I mean, really, once again, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. We've had a blast doing this, and we really appreciate you coming back week after week. After week. For like 6 times. So really, let's not get too ahead of ourselves.
Oh, geez, yeah.
You didn't do that much.
Thanks, guys, but okay, Brandon, let's just cut it. You're getting hateful.
No, really appreciate you guys tuning in, and until next season, for everyone here at IGN Godlike, take it easy.